What's your mother's maiden name? Where were you born? The answers came to you as naturally as breathing. Why? Because those things are so imprinted permanently on your brain that they pop into your consciousness with no effort at all. That's key number one to beating stage fright. Preparation, over preparation. Perform your presentation, or at least a part of it, in front of some living, breathing people, like family or friends. I have propped photos of my family up in front of me while I rehearsed, so I'd get kind of the feeling of people watching me. That way it's not such a shock when you get to the stage and people are watching you. Ever notice how if you're in a doctor's office or even a clothing store, hello people, everybody kind of whispers, except the people who work there. Hi honey, how have you been? Good to see you, come on in. Oh, the doctor will be with, They work there. They're used to it. Whenever it's possible, go to the place you'll be on stage well before the event. Don't just show up at the last minute. Walk up the steps, walk across the stage, go to the lectern, try out the microphone if you're going to use one. If you're going to handle props while you're up there, handle them exactly the way you're going to during your performance. Look out where the audience is going to be. See what it looks like, and if it's possible, do part or all of your performance. So when the audience comes into the room, they're coming into your space, a place you know better than they do. And speaking of the audience, here's a trick that worked for me back when I was still nervous before a speech. I'd mingle with the audience, speak with a few, eavesdrop on as many conversations as I could, because you'll be reminded that they're just people, and more than likely, nice people. And since they're just people, they're imperfect. They tell bad jokes and use improper grammar and have hair growing in their ears and bad breath and flabby butts. So the last thing I want to do is take that old advice and try to picture the audience sitting there naked. Ew. So don't go on stage thinking you have to be perfect because the audience is. Nothing could be further from the truth. They're just folks, and they're rooting for you. They really want you to succeed. Next, we're going to put your fear into perspective. You think giving a speech to a room full of people is a terrifying prospect? Tell that to somebody who's been diagnosed with a deadly disease, or to a soldier who's doing truly terrifying things just to give you the freedom and opportunity to do whatever you want in this, the greatest country on earth. Screw up your courage. Do the best performance you can to honor the sacrifices that have been made for you. Next, you're going to visualize success. I've researched it well enough to know that it's not voodoo. It's actually based on the way the human brain works. Science has proven that it actually works to push people toward their goals. As soon as you find out you're going to be speaking or performing, picture yourself walking across that stage in full command, smiling because you are enjoying yourself up there, gesturing, getting laughs, seeing an audience full of people absolutely mesmerized by what you're doing, then finishing with a dramatic flourish and bowing to thunderous applause with people smiling because they've just been blown away by your performance. The more you focus on visualizing the best possible outcome and the less you stress about the worst case scenario, the more likely it is to happen. Remember, repetition will improve your chances of success in many ways. Next, you're going to videotape yourself. Watching yourself perform can be enormously beneficial. Just one example. I learned that I used to stand in a stiff parade rest posture for minutes at a time, and it really looked goofy. You have to make yourself engaging and interesting to watch and listen to, or nothing else will work. I know, easy for me to say, huh? But when I was making this program about beating stage fright, I wanted to make it as informative and as much fun as possible. Just don't do it in public. Obviously, I have a lot more tips and techniques to share with you. I just can't get them all into this relatively short preview video. In fact, if you want to see the other 2/3 of the tips and recommendations that I make on that very topic, just go to fasttrackprospeaking.com There's a whole treasure trove of information that'll help put you on the fast track to professional speaking.